Hey everyone, Corrie here coming in to do our channel message for the week of August the 8th, following all the way into the weekend. This will be a full weekend. I will not have a weekend update energy report for you because I will be away going camping for my honeymoon since we don't have time to go for a honeymoon yet. But that's what we're going to be doing. So let me bring this one in and just see what we have. I didn't record it actually on the Lionsgate energy on the 8th. I was doing a two-day activation, and you can still actually purchase it and you do the recordings. There's actually two 90-minute classes and one pre-meditation that is in there. And so the Lionsgate energy is still flowing through. So you can still purchase that on the MTE Academy. But today on the 9th, I am recording it. So today's energy kind of started with a little bit of, and I was a little bit skeptical on whether or not I would want to report on some of this energy, because I'm like, okay, where's all the happy stuff? Where's all the happy shit? Where's all the good stuff? A lot of things are coming up today, and a lot of this sense of being very irritated with the world. And I just feel like the divine is there's a lot of kind of irritation energy from the ascendant masters, from those who've walked this earth previously, and just where we are and where we have had major setbacks, which seems like setbacks to us because it really is setting us back. And a lot of those are in places of where our world has always had poverty. And it's the poverty that sometimes we want to not see, or we tend to not see unless you're existing in it. But there's a new level that is kind of at the surface right now, and it's coming up again today. And so when we're looking at, and so the energy was speaking about how we have so many, how it's such a time of unknowns or unpredictability. We have a lot of unpredictability of where, people don't know where they're going to live. People don't know how they're going to survive. People don't know how they're going to get through. Inflation keeps rising. Things keep going up. Nothing is getting better. And it's such a time. And what I heard this morning, we have to learn to care for ourselves. We really have to learn to take care, to take charge ourselves, to take charge of our lives, to take care of ourselves, to be an advocate for our own well-being. Our healthcare systems are gone into the toilet. And all of these things are things that are coming up. And I'm like, I don't talk about these on an everyday basis. It's not what I have discussions about. And it's not what I bring into the energy update, but it's in the energy, it's in our face. We're looking at it. And so it's saying, like these big, long waiting lists to get our health taken care of and those type of things. And it's just saying, we have to start to care for ourselves, start to take our well-being in our own hands. And how can we take responsibility for our own lives? How can we start to do those things? And there's so many avenues and ways that we have to really be aware of what is important to us, how we care for our stuff and our things, and how we manage our lives. And so self-regulation, self-management is a huge part of the energy that is coming up for us right now. It's like, the food we eat, the choices we make, the places we spend money, what we buy, what we stop spending money on, what we stop supporting. So there's a lot of things that they're saying, why do we keep supporting that? Why do we keep buying into that? And it's for us to really, truly start to use discernment in our choices and be aware of what we are buying into and purchasing and what we're falling for. I find myself last week, really, truly getting irritated with all the voices of listening to, like, when I'm scrolling through, and how all the shorts just play, or all the beginning videos just play. And I'm like, I want to silence it all because everyone has an opinion. It's blah, 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 blah. And it's constant and it's consistent. And I'm like, there's an irritation that is coming from my channel, from my channeling. And it's like, and so the channel gets very irritated with with humanity, with human behaviors. And it really does. And so I can feel this, and it's saying, okay, now you have to start talking about this. And it's not to spread fear, because it's in our face. We're looking at it, we're existing it, we're living in it. With people who can't find a place to live, and how everything is being gobbled up and being used as temporary homes, or everything is being taken, bought up, and then being, rented out for much more massive amount of money. And that these are things that, if we were thinking about the well-being of humanity, these things would not be happening the way they're happening. But the darkness has really truly consumed, and this consumption of this energy, this imitation, this irritations, this imitation light causes us such irritations, but yet it keeps happening. So self-management, what we finally start to say no to. And it begins when we see it on a world scale. So we're seeing this on such a big scale. Now bring that into ourselves, bring that into our minute. So bring what we're feeling out here and what we're observing out here. Now bring that into ourselves. Where are we not being kind to ourselves? Where in your life are you truly not managing well, where you're not managing your emotions, you're not caring for the things that are important, you've been slacking off on your well-being, on your health, where you've been letting things slide, where you find yourself getting caught in the imitation light, and you're like, oh yeah, I can just go off and do this and do that, and I'm going to be all about fun, but in the meantime, having fun is costing you all of the things. And so can we have fun without losing ourselves? Can we have fun without, having to get so hammered drunk that you don't know what you're doing? Think about those type of things. So that sense of management, and I don't know, I'm seeing a lot of the really, like, within ourselves. And so I'm seeing this is what I'm being given. And so I'm seeing that this time and this energy is about self-management, self-regulation. It is about discernment and self-empowerment, to empower ourselves to do better, to grow together, to be kinder to each other, to be more supportive of each other. And as we move forward, this collective energy is really coming from the sense of a collaboration of the feminine energy of this sense of self. And so if we can imagine a world of where we truly can really truly find balance and bring balance into our lives. And if we all could be, if 80-20, if in the 80-20 rule, we could create some sort of balance and not be afraid to see the things we need to see, not be afraid to stand up, not be afraid to face things, but also really truly call up and out our own behavior, our own actions, the things that we're doing within our own lives, and standing up for and just saying, I have to take control of this myself. Nobody else is going to do this for me. I'm done waiting. I'm done waiting on this. I'm done waiting on these appointments. I'm done waiting for this. And instead of waiting for someone to fix something for you, is what can I do right now in my life? What can I bring into my life? How can I change? And I'm dealing with this myself on a personal level as well. For those who don't know me and don't know what I've been existing in, and why I'm not out in so many big public events anymore, or where I haven't been out in so many big public events or doing so many things in person, is because I too have been waiting on a major back surgery and waiting for this surgery. And I've been putting a lot of focus into my life of walking through my pain story and being very compassionate and caring to myself and caring for that. But in the meantime, what I've come to realize is that in nurturing this, I have been neglecting other areas of my life. Not intentional, but because I was waiting on something, waiting on a surgery, waiting for a call, all of the things that I value and that makes me really truly come to life as myself and bloom and be who I am, have been not getting the attention that it needs. It has not been a part of my life. And so a lot of who I am has been falling into that sense of not being in a balanced state of being. And now I'm no different than anyone else. I still am very human. Just because I channel, just because I do this work, doesn't mean that I don't get to walk through the same ups and downs of life as everyone else. but it's the awareness. So if I know and I'm not doing, then, so I'm holding my own self to a higher level of accountability as well, in the same energy and in the same, what I'm receiving, these messages I'm receiving about that self-regulation, about being able to use discernment, about managing my body, myself, my life, this inner authority, this personal authority that we have, that I am the creator. I am the co-creator of my world. You are the co-creator of your world. What we allow to be persistent in our lives is when we sit back and we wait for everything to be done for us, to be fixed for us, to be given to us, to, oh, well, they didn't call, so, I just got to sit here longer. Proactive. Learning to become very proactive as we move forward is important. Where do we need to be more proactive in our lives? Where do we sometimes need to find that inner voice, allow that personal authority to speak for you, and speak to yourself and say, okay, so in the meantime, are we going to sit here and just let things fall apart? Are we going to let our lives fall apart? Are we going to let our lives become to the point of where we're eating fucking ants? Like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do about it? So what am I going to do about it? What are you going to do about those things in your life that where you've just been sitting back? And so paying attention to what is those needs, and to get, so energy is getting ready to go on the move. So we're ready to pack up and to move. And so there's a movement that's going to be happening. We're being told to start preparing, start packing up gathering up what is important, because we're moving sites. We're moving on to a new sense of self, a new sense of being, a new sense of living, a way to live in a more positive way. But it's not kind of the stories that we have been fed. And so there is a traveling. So it feels as if we're going on paths. It feels as if we got all this traveling happening. And it's like, sometimes we don't have to physically move. We have to move our mindsets. We have to move within our bodies. We got to move the old energy. We got to, that blockages, those things that need to be released, those narratives that we've been living by, those things are ready for a change. And it's, I'm gonna go biblical. It's like when we're, it's like you have, they get this divine message, and now it's time to leave this village and get to and you got to walk through the deserts and get to the next village. Well, that's kind of what it feels like is happening within us, is that we're literally this village that we've created, this comfort that we've created within ourselves, and we put those things around us, is that now we're being told to pack up what's important, gather up that sense of our little treasures and sparks of hope and all of those things, and bring it all together. Take our flame, take our fire, take our passion, take our desire, take all of that and get ready to move. And it's as if the energy and the planets are moving, and as things are shifting, we're moving within ourselves. We're moving up. We're traveling up. We're traveling up and through that emotional journey, and up leveling, like leveling up the emotions, and how we kind of, just be content and just letting our lives be controlled and in a controlled environment, and lived and say, you know what, it's going to be a little bit wild. It's going to be a little bit it's going to be like a little bit untamed. It's going to be a little bit crazy, but I need to do this. I need to just know that it's okay to walk the unknown. So there's a lot of unknowns that are here. There's a lot of chaotic energy. And I speak about that when I spoke about the full moon and the month of August message. And I speak, August is a crazy month of energies, and expect the unexpected. Don't live in the energy of almost happening. This almost happened. This almost happened. If it didn't happen, it didn't happen. Thank God it didn't happen. Like, or no, it never did happen. So I can't keep walking around saying, oh, I almost made it here, or I almost got this, or I almost got, you didn't get it. It never happened. That experience never ever came to life. So it's a new level of honesty and a new level of truth for ourselves that we're existing and that we're moving through. And it's as we're moving in, it's very uncomfortable. And as we find this space and place within us, is that we start to stake our claims. Like we start to dig in those claims and say, I'm claiming this, I'm claiming my own personal authority. I'm standing in my truth. I'm standing up for myself. I'm standing in where I need to. I'm not any longer just going to sit back and be a doormat. I'm not going to be in this backspace, but I'm going to operate from my middle. And that is from my balance, from my healthy sense of self, from my healthy sense of knowing, because we are existing we are seeing the price raising on foods. We're seeing things become unaffordable, unobtainable in so many areas, and it's false. It is not true. It is coming from, it's coming from false light, false narratives, and it's being fed to us, and we are being told that we just have to accept it. But we don't have to just accept things. We can tell ourselves a truth, even though we can't force the change in others that way, but we can be honest with ourselves, like, I don't have to believe that. That is not working for me. And so those energies are very much with us in this coming week. So if you find yourself in the irritation, if you find yourself ready to just kind of start making the moves, or being kind of, wanting to take, really take a good look at your life, that's why we have that energy. And not to be afraid of it, not to try to run from it or avoid it. Walk through it. There's so much that can be discovered through this energy. There's so much wisdom to be gained through this energy. Don't be afraid of what we have happening around us. And so I'm going with the everyday goddess, and it's the unseen wound. It is Thekla. And so the unseen wound is that which we just, it's like all the band-aids are off, and we're taking the band-aids off. And there's that sense of we can be softer, gentler, and kinder. And we can really look in through our stories and into our life, and see ourselves. And so and that's an 8. So that goes with yesterday's energy as well. Goes with the 8-8. Light is coming in. And when the divine steps in, when the ascendant masters, when the holy realm steps in, change happens. And if you were to think of the Moses story, and I'm not religious, but I'm very much aware of our text and our journeys. And if you were to think of the Moses stories, if you were to think of Abraham, if you were to think of any of these stories, if you were to think of change happening in our lives. Sorry. There's a storm. My poor dog is afraid of thunder and lightning. And so if you were to think of those as that, to cross the river, the parting seas, to cross the waters, to get away from that which is no longer serving, you have to travel, and it often brings us some chaotic energy. It gives us a reason why it makes us uncomfortable. So there's a lot of things that just makes things uncomfortable for us, to get us to recognize that we made ourselves comfortable in uncomfortable situations, and that we created comfort because we're able to kind of deny what we know. We ignore the flags. We just let things slide. Whereas now we're not going to be able to do that so much. That's where we're starting to really see that the world's band-aid has come off, and now we have to really truly see things. And we don't have to become harsh about it. We don't have to become, mean about it. We can do this, and we don't have to live in fear or do things from a state of fear. We can do things from a state of faith and just saying, I really know this about myself. I really know what I need to do. And so where in our lives are we recognizing this, and how important is it for you to start to move into and shift into that energy within your own life? And also time. There is something going on. There's an energetic shift with time, whereas can't keep track of time, days. We're getting lost in time because it feels as if time is collapsing and days are collapsing. Everything's collapsing, and how we work in our hourly state and by the clock and those type of things, all shifting, all changing. There's just so many things that are like, it feels like a melting pot. We're in a melting pot of different energies, and we're it's going to take some time for this balance to come in. I feel like we're going to be in 2024, 2025 before we fully kind of plant ourselves in. But gratitude, what do we have to be grateful for? And I always go to love and gratitude and appreciation. I'm still here, I'm still standing, I still got so many great things in my life. Yes, my back, maybe I have pain. Yes, I know not to push the pain, to work with it. I feel the support. I'm so supported. I'm so grateful for all the great people and the great energies that are around me, the great opportunities that still exist. I see all those things, but that then gives me the courage to be able to face the things that are undeniable. And so great gratitude. So great gratitude gives us the opportunity to allow in beautiful new connections. And so you may find yourself finding new connections, much support, but also being grateful, knowing that we can see the things we need to see, do the things we need to do, and be able to move forward from there. And so deserving is our beautiful card. We are all so deserving of beautiful lives, healthy lives, to have proper care, proper systems, things that work. And I feel like we're on our way to that, but we have a lot of old that is now breaking down. But just see yourself, I'm deserving, I am worthy of beautiful things. I'm worthy to be able to have the courage to see what I need to see, heal what I need to see, heal, resolve what needs to be resolved, and to then be able to let go and move forward and to receive the rewards, the benefits, the gifts, the blessings, and the miracles that life has for us. And that's our message. And I hope in some way that this inspires you, and to really, truly listen. I'm glad you listened all the way through, because if you listen to the very beginning, it may felt like a little bit of a fear story, but it's not. It's just, this is the energy. This is what we have. Don't get lost in it. Just know that it's happening, and that you can really, truly work from the inner place of peace to be able to still do the things that you need to do to make the changes and the healing in your life. I send you much love. Thank you so much for always being with me. If you like my videos, please subscribe. There is many beautiful meditations as well. Also in the academies where I share all of my wisdom and knowledge and teachings. You can go check that out at mteacademy.ca, or go directly to my website, corriethorne.com, and you can check out everything that I have. Purchase my 2 books and my Everyday Goddess Oracle cards that are also available, which are these little beauties. So yeah, thank you so much and have a beautiful week. Bye-bye.